Greetings and hello. This is Jim Tobin, class of '77, president of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy Alumni Association and Foundation. I want to spend some time today dispelling some of the myths, misinformation, urban legends about how your gifts are used both here at the foundation and when we give it to the academy. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and we do get feedback from the vendor that has been conducting our phone-a-thon, and many of you are a little hesitant about what goes on once you give money to the AAF. We also watched a video yesterday from Maritime TV, and one of the panelists, I think, gave a wrong impression on how gifts are given, and I want to make sure that everyone understands how this process works. So we're going to take some time today and go over some basics on how your gifts get to us and to the academy, which is their intended use. One of the things that you have to understand is that the AAF is a charity, and we are governed by laws of the state of New York, and we must follow those laws to continue to operate as a charity. So we have a fiduciary responsibility as well as a legal responsibility to make sure that we handle your donations the way you want them to be handled. Likewise, the Academy, DOT, and MARAD are also covered by laws on how they use the money that we gift to them. And I'd like to go over that process real quick with you. When we want to give money to the Academy, we have to make what's known as a gift offer to the Academy, DOT, and MARAD. They will review that gift offer and then decide what it is they can accept or, in some cases, not accept. The vast majority of our gifts are accepted and there's no issue. And I will provide you some examples of things that have not been accepted or will not be accepted by the U.S. government and the Academy. I will assure everyone that the AAF's financial condition is solid. We are in good shape financially, no problems at all in that area. And if you want any information on our financial status, you can find that information and other information on our website at www.usmmaaf.com. We do like to give gifts on a regular basis to the Academy. However, we must follow the rules and procedures set up by MARAD for gifting to the Academy. Hey, it's their rules. We have to follow it. We live with it. We think that process has been getting better and better. In fact, the process that was taking months has now been reduced to a 30-day process, and we're hoping to make that even better. So when you give money to the AAF for the benefit of the midshipmen in the Academy or the alumni, we will make sure that that money gets to where it's supposed to go. Now let's go over some basics. What type of donations can you, the donor, make? There are three types of donations: temporarily restricted, unrestricted, and permanently restricted. I'm going to talk about what is a temporarily restricted donation. If you, the donor, want to have your contribution go to a particular place or be used within a particular time frame, that is a temporarily restricted donation. For example, let's say you donate money to be used for the Marine Transportation Department. We will have a fund designated for that, and we can only make sure that that gift will be designated to be used by the Marine Transportation Department. We can't sit there and make a decision to say, oh, the Marine Engineering Department you have better use for that, so we'll use it there. No. If you designate it to go to Marine Transportation, that's what we will gift it to for use by the Academy. On the other side, when we make that gift to the Academy and we designate it to Marine Transportation, they must make sure that it is used for use only by the Marine Transportation Department. Now, the head of the department, obviously the dean and the superintendent, will then decide how it is used in the Marine Transportation Department, but they have a legal responsibility to make sure it is used only for those purposes. I get a quarterly report from MARAD that will tell me how much money was given to that department, how much was used, and how much still remains to be used by the Marine Transportation Department. Now, what is something that may be rejected by the Academy if we offered it? And I'm going to give you a semi-wild example here, but it's an example nonetheless. Let's say a donor says, I want to have every single window on the Academy grounds replaced with stained glass. Well, that's something that the government might say we really don't need to do, so therefore we're going to reject that gift. It would then be my responsibility to go back to that particular donor and ask them to designate their money for some other use that could be better suited for the Academy. So that is how a temporarily restricted fund will work. Sometimes donors want to set up scholarships, and the government may say, well, until we know exactly how the criteria works for these scholarships, we're going to hold off on accepting that money. But once that's worked out, the scholarship is set up and it's good to go. The other form of donation is unrestricted. That is where you, the donor, say to us at the Alumni Association Foundation, you decide what would be the best use for that money. That gives us the most amount of flexibility. We can then fund those needs at the Academy that are not getting specifically designated contributions. As I always say, unrestricted cash is king, and it does give us the best bang for our buck as far as where we can distribute that money. And I'll give you an example. At midshipman clubs, if all we received was designated temporarily restricted money and it all went to the rugby club, well then all other clubs would get no money. However, if we got unrestricted funds as well as temporarily restricted funding, we then could give money to the propeller club, for example, because there was a need for that and the midshipmen would benefit from that. So unrestricted allows myself and my board of directors to decide, along with the Academy, what is the best use for that money. And the third option is what's called permanently restricted, also better known as an endowment. Currently, our minimum to set up an endowment here at the Alumni Association and Foundation is $50,000. An endowment, or permanently restricted, means we cannot touch the principal. We can only use the interest and dividends that is generated from that investment and use that for the specified purpose. We don't have many permanently restricted funds, but if you're interested in setting one of those up, again, with the minimum of $50,000, you can contact me. My information is on the screen, and I will be glad to discuss it with you. All of these things combined is how we give gifts to the Academy. Again, what we've given is on our website. We publish that in the Kings Pointer magazine. And if you have any questions about this process, still give me a call at any time. There is no reason for a donor to come up with multiple excuses not to give unless they don't have the ability to give or they want to support another charitable organization, and that's fine. But you must have full confidence that your money is handled properly here at the AAF, and that once it's gifted to the Academy, it is being used for what it's supposed to be used for. The government does not dictate to us how our gifts should be given, and the government cannot dictate to us how those gifts can be used. So I hope this helps. Again, any questions, please feel free to contact us at any time. And remember, it's all about the midshipmen. We, the alumni, parents, and friends, are the ones that will continue to keep this institution strong and the greatest maritime training facility in the world. Thank you, and take care.